you so much for downloading And Happiness. Just as a recap, if this is the first time you're listening, myself, Kitty Newman, and Klaudia Mitura go through the alphabet and talk about a topic and how it relates to our happiness. Each week, we live the topic through a dare and we discuss how that dare has impacted our happiness that week.
We also look through some psychological evidence and theories to see whether they support or contradict our experience.
So what letter are we on? We're on K, so...
Well, we could have done Klaudia and Kitty and Happiness.
Oh, that would just be...
Actually.
That would be such a brilliant episode. Klaudia and Kitty and Happiness. How much joy do they bring to our lives? Well, where do we start?
Exactly, but I thought that because, it's about our life anyway, every episode, then I thought, okay, let's have a break from Klaudia and Kitty and let's actually concentrate on kindness and happiness.
Now, we ummed and ahed about kindness, didn't we, for a bit, because it seemed a bit obvious that kindness and happiness go together hand in hand. But actually, when we thought about it a bit more, it was going to be really interesting to really push ourselves to be kind, actively kind. I think we all probably hope that we're kind people, but could we push ourselves to be even kinder and actively do that? I think it's quite interesting.
Yeah, very interesting, especially that our dare was to engage in 3 random acts of kindness. So we needed to really stop, think about it, and actively be kind, as you said, which, was very interesting for me. I'm sorry, Kitty, but I think I'm going straight away through at you a quote around kindness.
Boom. Right, she's out of the door with an inspirational quote. This is how she rolls now.
So here we go. We have a Syed Balkhi, who is a 29-year-old award-winning entrepreneur. He was recognized as one of the top 100 entrepreneurs under the age of 30 by the United Nations. And very interesting, what he said is, happiness is the new rich, inner peace is the new success, health is the new wealth, and the kindness is the new cool. So, Kitty, my question to you is, do you think the kindness is the new cool nowadays?
Well, it's definitely not the old cool. The old cool was definitely a bit more distant, bad boy, kind of motorbikes and edge. But now we're gentle to each other. It's important to raise each other up. It's important to look after one another. When I think about how young people are so considerate for their planet, thinking about each other in quite a caring way, I could see how kindness is the new cool.
Yeah, that's why I've chose this quote and straight away it kind of presented it, because when I was doing my dare and I was engaging in those 3 random acts of kindness, I was feeling a little bit like a superwoman. I have a power of being kind and I have a power to influence someone else's happiness. So I was feeling a little bit cool.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, I just didn't have a cool costume, That was the only thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. I found that doing my dare, that the leanings that I had to do the dare were quite interactive. And the initial acts of kindness that I wanted to do were quite interactive, and then I had to stop doing that because it wasn't necessarily appropriate, or it was a bit out of my comfort zone to I wanted to give people compliments, or I wanted to because this was to do with strangers. When I'd be out on my walk, I'd want to say something nice to somebody to give them a little boost, but then I had to really think about what was the appropriate kindness in that situation. So I think I didn't feel so superhero-y at the beginning, but I definitely, once I got into figuring out how I could be appropriately kind to a stranger, I did feel really good, and that it felt like a gift.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think kindness could be considered as a gift to ourselves because we feel good, but also the gift to someone else, and we can really boost someone else's happiness. I also think that the kindness is cool because it's simple. I personally engage in 3 very simple random acts of kindness. So the first one, I gave a stranger a compliment. It wasn't socially awkward. It happened that someone started talking to me about something on the street, and through that I gave someone compliment. I posted a recommendation on LinkedIn for someone without them asking me to do so, which boosted their profile, and then they were very, very grateful. And when I was standing in the rain on the traffic lights under umbrella, the person next to me didn't have umbrella and was getting drenched. So I just shared the umbrella with the person and just walked them to the nearest bus stop. And I was like, this is so simple. It didn't cost me anything. Not really much time or energy.
Oh, I love that so much. I love the idea of the picture of you with the umbrella and shielding someone else from the rain. That is absolutely adorable. Oh, I love that so much.
What kind of random act of kindness have you done this week?
I've been on the train a lot this weekend. I went up to Cornwall and I wanted to write a lovely note to someone that was going to be of positive affirmations of. But then I was told that you can't leave things with. I don't want to talk about Corona, but I couldn't actually. It's not appropriate to do that one.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did was I went to a coffee shop and I bought what I wanted, and then I paid in a coffee in advance for someone else.
Amazing.
I don't know who got it, but I just paid extra for an extra coffee for whoever needed it. And then I also wanted to give. I sort of felt like a giving in the kindness task, and so I went and found a charity on one of those GoFundMe sites, and I just donated to a charity, not a big charity, just it was just a little boy actually. I don't know who he was. I found it very difficult to choose in that point. It felt like, how do I make this decision? It's not like I'm giving him £1 million. It's not, but I was only going to choose one, and it's hard to then, because I've got my standard direct debits that go out, but they don't feel like random act of kindnesses. I'm going through and picking this person to give this money to, and that felt a bit strange. But I did get drawn to this one particular boy. So that's what I did. I did those. I'm trying to think. Oh, yes. And then, so I also shared someone's LinkedIn post on one of the groups I'm in. They said, let's all just give each other a little extra boost. They were talking about the algorithms. And if we share someone else's content, then that's going to help give them that extra boost. And so I did that as well. So it's funny that we both had that social media one, because we know how important it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know them.
That's brilliant, Kitty. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. And your idea, pay for the next person coffee, I think incredible. If you suddenly maybe run out of kindness ideas, there is a website called the Random Act of Kindness Foundation. And they work very hard to make kindness the norm in school, workplaces, homes, and communities. And they have kindness idea section on their website. And you literally can find any inspiration of how to be kind. I loved it. I got lost on that website because there were just so many ideas there. And there were a few interesting ones, actually, which I would not necessarily think as random act of kindness. Park your car within the lines so that everyone can fit in a car park.
Well, yeah, that's pretty standard. You should do that.
But, you know what I mean? I was like, wow, that's quite simple, but quite powerful. Yes, send someone good morning or good night to help them to start or end the day well. Send encouraging email to your teammates. Eat locally to support your local business and economy. Drink lots of water, as when you are healthy and energetic, it's easier to be kind. So I love it because all these ideas show that kindness, it's not only about being generous towards other people, but it's also about being kind towards environment, not forgetting to be kind in professional settings, and also in order to be kind towards other people, we need to be kind towards ourselves. So I suddenly got lost in all those ideas and I was like, wow, kindness can have so many different meanings. It's let's say my kindness horizons have expanded.
Being kind to yourself is something that comes back in a lot of our episodes. I remember once you saying, well, how would you talk to your friend? You know, talk to yourself like you talk to a friend. Be kind to yourself. I definitely notice when people are kind to me, if I'm feeling a little quiet. Actually, this happened this weekend. I was out and we were with a group of people I didn't know that well. We'd spent quite a lot of time together and I'd gone a bit quiet. So I took myself away for a little walk. I actually went and did some handstands in the field and came back. And when I came back, the people in the room were talking to me and asking me all these questions. And it was a real switch. And what I think had happened is they'd realised that I was feeling a little uncomfortable and maybe a little out of the social group. And they were all making this effort to talk to me. And that felt really kind. I felt this because they weren't being unkind before, they were just in their own thing. But really, they were all making a concerted effort to make me feel comfortable, and it made me feel really, really good. It made me feel like they cared, you know?
Love it. Yeah, because when we receive kindness, we feel great. We feel that people care about us. And you won't be surprised that research confirms that helping others is great for them and makes them happy, but also it makes us happier and healthier.
It was lovely to recognise that as well. It made me feel part of the group and considered, and it actually made a really big difference, and I appreciate them. When I was just thinking, do you really want to say this on the podcast? What if they listen? Well, I just want to say thanks for making me feel good. It was appreciated.
Aww, that's great.
It's nice, isn't it?
But when you were engaging in the random act of kindness, how did you feel?
Yeah, I felt good. I felt a bit disappointed that I kept coming back to how monetary kind. I was finding my solution in money, and so when I bought the coffee ahead, I was like, okay, well, I'm buying somebody something. The donation is okay, well, that's still a financial thing. Lots of my first thoughts were around money, and I felt a little bit disappointed in my own ideas that I couldn't find anything that wasn't financial. But actually, hearing you go through those examples, I actually think I do a lot more of those in the day-to-day than it would be. I say good morning to people as they go along. I'll give my place up to someone in the queue, or little things that I always just think of as quite friendly, but they are kindnesses, so that does make me feel nice.
Yeah, because so quite interesting. When I was thinking about the kindness, I was more thinking about how I can make people feel better. And I actually wasn't going into monetary giving. I was kind of more going into boosting relationships. But you're right. It can be something very simple, and maybe many things that we think are just simple friendliness or that's the way we are, it actually means kindness. Interestingly, we were playing with our family a game when everyone kind of describes you with 3 words. And one word that I was described was kindness. And I felt, wow, that's great. That's amazing. I felt really proud by that description. And in the past, I never really actively thought, okay, today I'm doing this random act of kindness towards my family or towards my other half family. It was just me being in the moment, and I thought I'm just being nice. But people saw it as kindness. I definitely felt very positive and really happy when I did all those random acts of kindness. There is an entire book by Dr. David Hamilton called The 5 Side Effects of Kindness. And he speaks about various research on effects of kindness in our life. Helping others increases our happiness, puts us in a good mood, and has the power to actually take our minds off our own troubles, because we concentrate on other people. Our brain produces endorphins and oxytocin, which is good for our heart. It's good for our immune system and can even slow down aging. So if you want to look sexy and beautiful, kindness apparently And kindness is also a social glue that helps us to connect with other people. Again, your experience with your friends. And that's because we need to relate to other people. So in my example, I understand how not nice it is to be drenched in the rain. Therefore, I related to that person's experience and shared my umbrella. So really a gold mine of positive aspects. And what's even more amazing is that if people are kind to us, or when we seeing someone else being kind, we are inspired to be kind in return.
I think there was one morning when I went for a run and I could see everybody that was potential kindness suspect. No, prey. Someone I could be kind to. And I think that I was running with a smile on my face because I was just thinking of all these things that I could do. The jump from doing it, because all my ideas seemed a bit wild, because I was kind of going in a bit cold, rather than there being a reason for me to engage. It was sort of a bit abrupt because I was just sort of looking for it. But just the thought of like, oh look, their dog's about to do this, I could go and like help the dog in this way, or this person's like, maybe I could buy that for that person, or I could do this, or I could do that. I was thinking, oh wow, look at all these lovely opportunities for kindness that there are. That was just a nice moment of thinking. It was just a nice thing for my brain to be doing while it would have otherwise been thinking of something boring. It was filling me with like really nice positive thinking.
And you're right, kindness can be us in the moment, just acting upon a situation that is in front of us and just following that and giving kindness to someone. Or it could be something planned. So it could be the idea of donating your money like you've done. And again, it's happier people are more interested in helping others by donating their money. But also it could be by planning to donate your time. And this is where volunteering comes. So volunteering is a type of act of kindness, and people who are volunteering are experiencing the effect of helper's high.
Okay.
So you get so much satisfaction from helping other people. You are doing it despite that you need to put your energy and time and you don't have money in return. And that's more planned kindness that you can do on regular basis.
Do you do any volunteering?
Yes, actually a volunteer for Action for Happiness, and I run their online gatherings and courses around happiness. And again, I love it because I spend 1 hour with people discussing various topics that Action for Happiness is scheduling for us to discuss. And then I'm just overflown with people messages of how that 1 hour of discussion on a certain topics help them to then do kind things in their life. So yeah, I think volunteering is very powerful form of act of kindness. What about you? Are you doing any volunteering?
Not at the moment, no. I've done a lot of volunteering in the past with, Fairyland Trust, which is an amazing nature conservation charity. And I used to volunteered with them for about 6-7 years. Still do the odd bit every now and then, but I've moved away. I need to get something else going down here in Brighton.
Coming back to this giving money to good cause, I have one more interesting fact for you, is that when we are giving money to good causes, the same parts of the brain light up as if we were receiving money ourselves.
Oh.
Or we were responding to other pleasurable stimuli such as food or sex.
Whoa! Really? Interesting. Yeah, but what does that even mean? Because, like, it doesn't, your body's not, it's not the same. It's not as good.
Of course it's not, but it's the same part in your brain lights up.
So
that's the interesting thing.
Yeah, that is interesting. The giving of it.
Yes.
Yeah, but that makes sense in some ways as well, because there's a feeling of love, isn't there, for doing that, you know? There's there's a feeling, the feeling of giving something to someone is like, it does makes you feel good about in a love sort of a way, doesn't it? I guess the oxytocin element.
Yeah, that's the oxytocin aspect. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Kitty, this is all gravy, but I'm sorry to tell you that there is a catch with kindness.
Oh, no.
I know. I mean, life is just never just black and white. I'm sorry.
No. I actually didn't think there would be a catch to this one. I thought this would be a plain sailing. This is all good. Be kind. You can't go wrong. No?
No, not really. Sorry. Yeah. This is life we're talking about, and this is happiness, and it gets tricky.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you think about situation when kindness leads to frustration, hence destroying our happiness?
Oh, maybe if you give a lot and don't feel that you're getting enough back.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a giver and you get taken advantage of. If you don't have clear boundaries, so your kindness is exploding out of you, and then what's left for you, and you've given everything away, and now you're no one's being kind to you back, maybe?
Absolutely. I don't know, Kitty, really. Like, how do you know all those things?
Klaudia, hanging out with you.
Yeah, learning from the best, right? Okay.
Yeah.
There are two very specific ones that has been researched in depth. And one is being put under pressure to help others. And in that case, the kindness becomes an obligation rather than our choice. And when that happens, kindness does not boost our happiness. It rather makes us frustrated. I don't know whether you ever had a situation when you may be under time pressure and someone wants you to help them and you just freaking out even more. So that aspect of timings and the pressure is very important when it comes to kindness. It has to be our choice and we have to have the time to do it. The second one is, which you mentioned, is about this idea of going beyond our resources and not seeing appreciation from other people. In that case, the kindness and helping will actually feel as burden and it will be detrimental to our well-being. So it's not that simple that whenever we are kind, it will be all gravy and positive for our happiness. We do need to be careful. In order to experience all those benefits of kindness that we discuss, we need to have a choice, so it cannot be obligation, and we have to have resources in order to be kind to other people. Otherwise, it could be considered as people taking advantage of us.
So the resources, so boundaries probably, and an element of being kind to yourself, working out, making sure that you're giving yourself allocated kindness.
Absolutely, because we cannot take care of other people, we cannot help other people if we're not taking care of ourselves, because we won't have energy, we won't have mental capacity really to give to other people. So you're right, it's very important. In order to be kind to other people, we have to be kind to ourselves. How we can be more kind to ourselves?
Lots of the stuff that we've talked about in episodes before, I think gratitudes, being grateful, I think having boundaries so you don't take up too much of other people's things, saying positive affirmations about yourself and giving yourself some confidence, and talking to yourself like you're your best friend, and not being too hard on yourself if you can't quite get to the thing that you need. Just being gentle with yourself. I think.
I love it. I truly do. And I think it's also about not taking care of your happiness as selfish. Happiness is so important, and if we're happy, we'll help other people to be happy.
Yeah. And also, like, the things around you as well. So I never thought I liked candles until someone gave me a candle and it just set the room so nice and I felt so calm. I was like, oh, this is a treat. This is such a nice thing. Why have I not let myself like candles before? Look, what have I been doing to myself to not let myself have this lovely, nice smell, nice lighting, some music and a book, or just writing or something, a really lovely treat of an evening. Why have I been keeping that for myself? And then I love doing that now. I mean, I haven't actually done it for ages. Do you know what? Saying this out loud, that's exactly what I want.
Kitty, you haven't lived till you discover scented candles.
No, I know. Well, I am now. I'm living now.
I'm sorry, where have you been?
I know. I actually haven't been in the candle game at all until this year. How are you kind to yourself?
For me, kindness towards myself is giving myself time to rest when I need to. Because I definitely have this little gremlin in me, of faster, stronger, better. And it's difficult for me to just sit and rest when I need to. It's difficult for me to take a break, even if it's just 5 minutes of breathing. I'm always in such a flow with all the tasks that I'm doing that I forget to take those little breaks. So for me, kindness is stopping and having a space to just breathe. Any final thoughts on kindness?
Just that it's lovely, and I think that I think kindness has always been quite an important part of my life philosophy. I think, to be kind to people. It seems like quite a basic one for me. Be kind. It's kind of, no one would disagree with that, in my opinion. And my general life's philosophy is to be kind to one another. But I can see how you get lost away from it, and I can see how it doesn't come necessarily that easily, because sometimes it feels like you need to protect yourself. But I think it's good to take the chance to maximize the kindness for a bit and see how it feels, and go back to just trying out being kind, and just knowing that it's important is good, I think.
Yeah, and let's make it a new cool.
Yes, let's make kindness the new cool.
Absolutely. And it is cool because it's simple and can happen with any aspects of our life, from community to environment, from writing something online to connecting with our family. So it's amazing. It can be in any aspect of our life. It is really a gold mine when it comes to happiness, because we have elevated mood, positive effects on our body, social glue with our relationships. So great benefits, and it can be contagious. We get the helper's high, and we can inspire other people to be kind. But in order to reap these benefits, we need to ensure that two things are in place. Otherwise, the kindness can lead to our frustration and destroy our happiness. Do you remember those two aspects that are important?
Yes. So we need to make sure that we've got the choice to be kind, that it's not forced upon us, and that we have the resources to actually do it.
Excellent. Kitty.
Woo!
Tam, tam, tam. Fabulous.
Thanks.
And don't forget that in order to be kind to other people, you need to be kind to yourself. So this week, try to be kind to yourself first, and then be kind to our people.
Klaudia, a pleasure as always to meet with you this week. And next week, I'm very excited to meet up again to discuss luck and happiness.
Yay! We will be discussing how much luck, if any, do we need to be happy? And actually, what does it mean to be lucky?
So we dare you to contemplate this week on what kind of luck have you experienced in your life so far, and how has that made you feel? And would you still be happy had you not been lucky in those moments?
Perfect. Lots of reflection to do, Kitty. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. If you don't already, please subscribe. Give us a review as well if you like. Say whatever you like. Let us know what you think. And also share this with somebody this week that you think might benefit from it.
Yeah, be kind and share this with a friend.
Thanks everyone, and we dare you to be happy.
Yay! Bye-bye.
Bye.